Some hours later, Samantha sighed with her eyelashes getting heavier. She was damn bored, and she missed Lilly badly. She grabbed one of her book and began to draw a shapeless stick that she called Drawing of Human. She finished drawing it and wrote Bryan. But an idea struck, why don't she meet Bryan? She stood up and walked out of the class. Immediately, Samantha walked out of the class. Carlo stood up and followed her. Then he found her coming out of the toilet. He smirked devilishly and grabbed a blindfold and a handkerchief from his pocket. Then he used the handkerchief and covered her nose, making her pass out. At Bryan's class, Bryan could be seen writing down something with Jeremy and Andy. Then Samantha walked in. Andy stood up and wrapped his arms around her neck. "Our wife. How are you?" Bryan sent him a dangerous glare, but he didn't bulge when he saw that Bryan was about to stand up. He ran back to his seat. "Calm down, I was just joking, all right," Andy said with an eye roll. "Carry your jokes elsewhere," Bryan scoffed as Samantha sat beside him. "Don't you have class?" Jeremy asked, and she nodded negatively. "Free period for now," Samantha said. She bit her lower lips with a bored sigh. "Hope that Carlo guy isn't disturbing you," Bryan said with a frown, and Samantha nodded. "Just a little, but thank God you made the teachers to change the seats," Samantha said with a smile, and turned to see that Andy and Jeremy is gone. "Where did they call in a matter of seconds?" Samantha asked, raising an eyebrow confusingly. "They left to get their girlfriends," Bryan said. "Girlfriend?" "Never knew they had a girlfriend," Samantha said, and Bryan smirked. "What I mean is their side chick," Bryan said, and Samantha rolled her eyes. "Those playboys will never change." At Carlo's warehouse. Some minutes later, Carlo sprinkled some amount of water on her face when he got super impatient because Samantha wasn't waking up. "Hey! How dare you!" she yelled, and Carlo raised an eyebrow. This doesn't sound like Samantha's voice, but she had Samantha's face. "Who the fuck are you?" Carlo asked or half yelled. "Am Nina, the daughter of the governor, and I order you to free me now," Nina yelled, and Carlo looked at her face closely before dragging the mask off her face. "Why did you pretend to be her?" Carlo asked, his eyes darkening, and that scared Nina to the bones. "To get Bryan. I wanted to make me and Bryan get to engage in a romance, and then I will video it and send it to her. Then their relationship will be over." "Leave me!" Nina yelled, and Carlo smirked. "You're smart," Carlo said. "I also wanted to split them. That's why I kidnapped you, thinking you were Samantha." Carlo paused. "Put this mask on and continue your plan. I will try to distract Samantha. At the end, they will break up." Carlo smirked and eyed Nina, who stood up. "So, you're on my side?" Nina asked, and Carlo nodded, making her smile. She'd always wanted a teammate. At Twinkling High, Samantha walked into the library and grabbed a book, a vampire novel called Twilight. She loves this book so much, especially the film part of it. She sat on a small stool and began to flip the pages of the book till chapter 1. "Hey, babe." Samantha heard the annoying voice that always disturbed her both physically and mentally. "Carlo, please tell me what you want. If I have, I will give you, but stop disturbing me." Samantha said, massaging her forehead. "Nothing." Carlo paused and leaned to whisper into her ears, making fear to hug her tightly. "I need you and only you, Samantha David," Carlo said, and Samantha stood up, banging the table. "Get out of here before I call the security." Samantha yelled, and Carlo scoffed. "They wouldn't listen to you." "Well, for your information, they would, because I'm the female boss here." "Security!" Samantha yelled, and 2 security guards came in. "Drag him out of here." "Don't blame me for being too harsh," Samantha said, and the security guards grabbed him and began to push him out of the library. "Damn him!" Samantha cursed and sat down. At Bryan's class. Some minutes back, Bryan was holding a picture of Samantha and was smiling. His eyeballs held warmth in it as he stared at the picture before putting it back inside his textbook. Then someone barged in. It was Samantha. "Bryan!" She called seductively, and he raised an eyebrow. Did she have a sore throat or something? Why is her voice different? "Bryan, am ready," she said, and sat on his laps, using her hands to touch his chest, but he stopped her. Samantha would never allow me to touch her in the classroom. Is she drunk? Bryan thought and looked at her legs. Samantha doesn't wear high boots, and she never applies makeup. Whoever you are, get out before I teach you a lesson, Bryan said, pushing her away. Bryan, what are you saying? Is me, Samantha, she said tearfully. Get out of here! She ran out immediately in anger. She felt like killing. She walked to the backyard of the school and grabbed a rake as her hands shook. She needed to kill, or she wouldn't be at peace.